Hi people, how y'all doing? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. It's Sandra here and I'm back again with another video from Ben Shapiro. Y'all know, like, if you do watch my videos, you know that I do get into a lot of Charlie Kirk. And trust me, like, Charlie Kirk and Candace Owen, they've done conferences together, they've done debates together, which have always been mind-blowing, literally. I would love to see Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro on something, since Charlie Kirk and Candice Owen has been on something, because these minds, like, these people are people of such great mindsets that I do admire. But nonetheless, people, let's get into this video.
Yes, because if someone calls me a racist without evidence, they are definitionally a dumbass.
I've been watching you for years now, and I read your book on the arguments to fight against people like me, and I feel bad because, like, for the most part, the people who have been arguing against you aren't nearly as elegant or eloquent as they should be. But I just like to ask. So one of your points you very strongly make is that it's unfair for people like me to label you as like a racist or a bigot, just as like a smear tactic. But have you ever acknowledged that, like, maybe it's not a smear tactic, but it's based on things you've said? So, like, for example, like on the Israel-Palestine conflict, you called the Arabs. Yeah, you already know what I'm going to say. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to presume. Yeah, so like you say.
I've written several full columns about it.
Yeah,
I've talked about how people don't read the follow-up tweets. I wrote a column.
I've read some of the tweets, and the tweets were just as bad. I mean, you say a lot of things that are just like racist, right? But then if I call you a racist, then you defend it by saying, like, I didn't read enough, right? So that's what I was going to say before.
So give me, okay, fine. So give me my racist tweets in context.
Okay, well.
Yeah, you came prepared. So right, go, do it.
So you said that Arabs like to bomb crap and live in open sewage. This is not a typical day. Well, you before that said Israelis like to build. Did you?
Okay, now the follow-ups, because you said the follow-ups didn't make it any better.
Well, this is some of the things that you said.
No. I want the follow-ups to that one. Would you like me to get them? I'll get them for you.
If you have them, sure. But in the meantime, do you mind while you do that?
What was that?
Do you mind if I continue while you do that?
Well, I'd like to take them one by one. So
sure.
Okay. Why don't we do this? Why don't we delay that one until the end while I look this up from the podium in front of 600 people?
You've also said. Okay. So on that particular issue, you've also said that the Arab-Palestine populace is, by and large, constitutes the most evil population on the face of the planet. Before, you said that you've never brought up religion when it comes to abortion, but I don't think that you've avoided religion when it comes to the Israeli conflict. And I don't know that you can be completely unbiased in the issue, given that,
Well, I can be unbiased on the subject that the Palestinians have elected 3 terrorist governments to form a unity government with the stated goal of the destruction of the state of Israel and the murder of all Jews in the area. So that I can be relatively unbiased on. As far as the idea that the Palestinian population... As far as the idea that the Palestinian population is more evil than other populations, they certainly hold more evil views than other populations by poll statistics, by how many Palestinians approve of terrorism, by how many Palestinians voted for an actual terror group, Hamas, and another actual terror group, Palestinian Authority, and another actual terror group, the Islamic Jihad. Okay, so I don't think that all views are equal, and I don't think that people who hold evil views are necessarily good. I mean, I'm sorry if the polls don't support the idea that everyone is equally wonderful, but everyone is not equally wonderful. Okay, I'm looking up these statements now, so if you'd like to give me a second.
But you've continued, you deny secular Zionism, and you...
Quote, okay, so here, I've got them in front of me. Okay, so I'll finish that one, then we can move. Okay, ready? There are many Christian and Muslim Arabs who are wonderful people, just not the ones who oppose Israel and the Israel-Arab conflict. That would be the response within the same Twitter thread. Okay, in the post read, Israelis versus Arabs, I wrote about Arabs who take part in the Israeli-Arab conflict, as anyone who can read knows. Hashtag dumbasses. Okay, quote, I think it has much more to do with the fact that the Palestinian leadership supported by the Palestinian population uses millions for terror. I should have been more specific. Arabs who actively seek Israel's destruction. Those would be the follow-up tweets. Does that sound like genocidal mania to you, or does it sound like I'm specifically labeling a group of people who have called for Israel's destruction?
I like to point out that you're not a racist, but they're dumbasses, and you're allowed to insult them.
Yes, also, because if someone calls me a racist without evidence, they are definitionally a dumbass.
What is genocide? Wait. What is genocide? Like so you said that you want to be like Churchill, right? And after the Allies, when they moved the German-speaking Polish out of Poland.
So now you're talking about a column I wrote when I was 19 years old that I actually that I morally abhorred and denounced myself, I think 6 years ago.
Yeah, you
and have repeatedly
repeatedly
said was a bad column that I wrote when I was 19 years old.
Okay.
Okay, so next.
So that was quite tense. Okay, it was quite interesting to me how I could slowly, or would I say rapidly, see this college kid's confidence just sleep away. I mean, he needed more than the confidence he came with if he was coming to debate Ben Shapiro and he didn't, come with like enough information. I felt like, it goes without saying that he needed to have come with a lot more confidence. And I think I'm beginning to have an issue with the way this word racism is just being thrown away because there are really like racist people out there. And I feel like the fact that it's being abused, the word racism is being abused, is losing its seriousness. It's losing its severity. Okay? Because it's seeming like, with the pattern, I've noticed, it's seeming like it's some sort of like insult, to call someone a racist. I think they throw it, they use it as a form of shade. You're racist. I think it's like a form of shade, and it truly isn't making a whole lot of sense to me because if someone is racist, I think it's quite glaring. Okay, there's certain instances where I feel like, oh, I wouldn't know this was racist, or I wouldn't know. But a true racist, like it's gonna be so glaring. So, and how can you tell based on someone's tweets? And he even wrote it down, but he didn't write the follow up. He didn't do any other like. What exactly was he hoping to achieve with this? Like, I just don't get a whole lot of it. A whole lot of it is like BS. Okay, it's total BS. I feel like people just listen to Ben Shapiro speak and they totally just disagree with him and they're like, okay, I want to get back at him. I don't like what he's saying. I don't have my facts intact, but I do know that I don't like what he's saying. So I want to get back at him and stuff like that. Mm, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And it makes you look weak because you're standing against Ben Shapiro. He's going to take you down. He's going to take you down, and he's not going to take you down in like a vindictive way. It's just that he has facts. Okay, so if you do have another opinion from like the facts on ground, I think you should, like give it like a space to breathe. Okay, give the facts a space to breathe. Not like you're trying to shove down your opinion, your very weak opinion, might I add, down people's throats, and it's just not adding up, to be honest. But nonetheless, we did get into this, and I mean, if you do watch Ben Shapiro, you know that we saw this coming. So do share your opinions and your thoughts with me down in the comment box. I'm really gonna appreciate it because I mean that's the reasons why we're here. So share your opinions and your thoughts down with me in the comment box. I'm really gonna appreciate it. We've come to the right end of today's video. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really hope you guys had an interesting one, and I really, really want to pick your brains and know what you think about this. But let us keep on staying safe and healthy up onto the very next one. Okay, so bye.